I'm still working in my garden these days, and I've learned another lesson from gardening. I grow a lot of zinnias. I just plant a whole bunch, and then I keep the seed pods from 1 year and I dry them in the basement over the winter, and then I get them out and I plant those seeds, so I don't have to buy zinnias, and I can just plant them, put a whole pile of seeds in the earth, and they'll grow. And I love that. This year, I had my sister pull out the seeds from the pods because she was here helping me over my birthday, and I said, hey, will you do this for me? And she did. She sat in the garage and she, one by one, just pulled those seeds out, and then I planted them later, and they have really popped up this year. So maybe it was my sister's touch, I don't know, but they're just flourishing. So much so that my husband said, you ought to thin them out. I said, I don't want to thin them out. So I looked it up, and I found a blog post that talked about thinning seedlings and why it's important. She said all the things that I was thinking. She said, I know you don't want to thin your seeds because you planted them all and you want them all to grow, and they're growing, and you want to keep every one of them, right? And I'm like, yes. And you don't want to thin them out. Yes. You want to see what each one will produce? Yes. Man, this woman knows what I think. But she said it's important that you do it because as you thin them out, it gives the other ones space to grow. In fact, she said you don't want them to compete for soil and root space. And she said there will come a point where they will struggle and they'll have issues if there's so many plants close together. And here's something I'd learned I didn't know. I just thought, I'm supposed to just pull out some. She said, no, don't pull them out because their roots are so tender in that young stage. It may intertwine with the other roots and it'll mess up the root system of the other plant. So she said, take your scissors and cut off the heads. Just cut them off. Don't pull them out of the ground. So as you can see, my zinnias are still pretty thick. I did thin some out, but I thought, well, I'm gonna compromise. I'm gonna go with partly what I want and partly what she says. And then I got to thinking, can you tell I think a lot? I got to thinking, oh my goodness, I feel like that's what COVID has done to me as a musician. It has made me thin out stuff. They said no more performances, no public gatherings, which shut me out. But out of that, I had to figure out some new ways to do music. And I have loved some of the things that have come about. And what I love about the whole thinning thing is it's not that any of these plants are bad. They're actually very beautiful and very good. But if I want them to thrive, I need to cut out some good things even and give specialized focus to a few things, or maybe one thing. So that's what I've been doing the past year. Just been thinning out things in my life so that what's really, really important to me has room to thrive and grow. Thanks for joining me. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't. And I'll talk to you soon.